Zero people. Zero people showed up, man. Well, zero people. Hear me now. My 4th was fantastic. Me and Puppy had a great time. There's a lot of fireworks here locally. I mean, every year, even today, Burlington still celebrates Wuss's birthday on the 4th. They have a big firework demonstration for one and all to see, in remembrance of him. And, of course, little Tonka, he thought it was people outside beating on stuff, and he kept barking, trying to tell me someone was outside. But, and I kept grabbing it. All you do is fireworks, man. It'll go away quick. Went out, enjoyed it. It's really a good time, man. I hope everybody had a good 4th. Our nation's birthday, Wuss's birthday. It's a big day, man. Plus, you get to blow stuff up. And who don't love that? It's very much American to blow shit the hell out back, man. I did that. So, here is the reason for this show. I have noticed, and I think that other people have noticed, because there's other people that have brought some of this to my attention as well, that there are now missing pieces within the Delphi case. Okay? And I'm going to try to list these off. One is the Lost Holman interview. Now, let me go find the picture of that. Man, you know what? I don't even know where the hell that's at. I don't even know where I put it. And in fact, I'm going to say it was Fox 59. And I saved that, man, in a screen save. And what it was they had the little trailer video, which is like 2 minutes long. And then at the bottom of that, it says, click here to watch the full video. But when you click that, where it takes you to is a page that no longer exists. It's been taken down from YouTube. So really what happened is they pulled that information offline. The big guys pulled this interview with Holman here offline so that you could not see it. Now, in that interview with Holman here, I'm going to say that he had said 2 words, St. Louis. And I remember seeing it, and I remember people in the past making comments to me. Isn't that odd that he would say people in St. Louis? Like in kind of pointing that direction, This is after TJB had been arrested. Now that's gone, and people ask me, man, well, do you have the Lost Holman interview? No. And I went looking for it, and I found that it is gone. It has been taken offline. Now, who takes an interview with law enforcement offline? I don't think it was Fox 59 just going, yeah, we're sorry, Holman. This is not the interview we thought it would be. Our bad. We're just going to pull that. Don't worry, you look like a jerk. Quite contrary. It was something that he stated in there that they no longer wanted out there for you, the viewing public, to be able to hear again. That's why. Now, this sets in fantastic with the rest. There's another interview with Robert Ives in which he was talking about the crime scene and said the words non-secular. Gone. Cannot be found. Cannot find that interview now. It's gone. They pulled it. Why? Because he said the words non-secular, meaning spiritual. And lastly, I knew I'd do that, man. The FBI went and got the DNA of Thomas Jerome Bruce. Now, this week, I called KOMV. And that is a news affiliate station there in St. Louis, and was asking them about confirming to the fact that the FBI had been there, had obtained his DNA, and that they had stated then that the FBI was going to run that through CODIS seeking a match because local investigators believed that this wasn't the first time TJB had done a crime like this. Now, they went and got his DNA. It was on the news down there. They was looking for a match, the FBI was. It was on the news down there. And then what they do? They pulled every shred of that, all of it, offline, so that you, the viewing public, could not see that. I want you to think about this. Why would those three things right there be gone? Why would they take them away to where you could no longer see them? What do they all have in common? They all have one thing in common. The guy that I call my suspect, man, the person of interest, the guy that I believe committed the Delphi murders, the Evansdale murders, and the murder of Mary Pryor and Ann Pates in Michigan, minimally. And I mean, like, that's even pulling out of the equation Suzanne Collins down in Tennessee. And of course, we do know that Jamie Schmidt was, of course, murdered by him already. And the 77-year-old is probably pretty lucky. Probably hadn't had enough to drink. Hey, PA Deer Hunter. Right on, man. Glad you guys can make it. I hope it's all of y'all. And I hope you guys had a fantastic vacation down in Florida. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Mary. That is exactly the point that I am making. Right there. Right there. I don't know what TGB is. What is TGB? If you meant TBG, you're right. Although it is TJB and it's his, man. That was Thomas Jerome Bruce's DNA. They're also hiding that. Now, on top of that, I go one step further again that I'm going to bring this in. But here's the thing. I know factually, okay, that they was down there in St. Louis and they were investigating him on the Delphi murders. Now, the FBI just don't go investigate. It ain't like that they're just picking up a lead. No, we'll investigate. No, when it comes down to them, like going to neighbor's house that will like live next door to the guy and saying, hey, can you look at this video? Does that look at all like him? It's because they're connecting him back in other ways to Delphi. You know, that, well, a neighbor, you know, could tell it was him, somewhere along that line. But they wouldn't be down there investigating if it was fruitless, if there wasn't anything to go on. Well, that's... Oh, hang on, man. It's a TJB. Okay. All right. Well, wait, man. It was Mary's comment. What is TBG? Oh, guy. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Well, I don't think it really comes down like that, Tammy. I really don't. I don't think that they care because they already know. The same as TJB already knows that he's hit for that. He knew that when he was arrested. And again, I mean, my whole thing on the Catholic supply store was he was looking at like cop suicide. He thought they was going to come knocking at his door. He had a firearm and he was going out blazing. That's what was in his mind. When he done it, he knew he was going to be caught. So, you know, now, hang on. Ah, hey, Ben. Bruce, Insomniac, Teresa, Mary, Tammy. Glad y'all could make it. Oh, hey, you know what? I just wanted to throw out real fast that somebody out there, unsure who it is, but they did what I had stated last week. They went to Coinbase, got their $30 in free crypto, turned it into Bitcoin, and sent me $5 worth. So whoever you were, man, God be on your side. You're a step ahead of the game. I'll tell you that shit right now. You know, crypto's the future, man. And if you are not into crypto, you can go right there and join. Just join up, man. And, you know, you already got, man. Just go down the first page, make your $30 in crypto. There it is. That easy. Just that easy. You know what? I'm kind of aware of this, but I don't know who it is, who it did that. Did they remove him again? No, Lil Pookie's still here. But yeah, I am aware of that. I don't know who did it though, and I don't know why. And I'm sorry, but tried logging on last. Oh, well, really? Man, on mine, I just went in with my email, man, my password, and boom, there I was. I mean, it was just that easy. Huh. Very, very odd, man. Well, she's here, though. I mean, see, little Pookie's like right there. So, I mean, unless I know who did it, there ain't anything I can really do about it. Hey. Well, it's not Bitcoin. I mean, it's it's an account. It's an exchange. You know, you just log into there where you can buy crypto, be it Bitcoin, altcoin, Cardano's, malaria, Solana, anything you want to buy like that, man. You can go on there and buy it. It's just like you join any place, any website, and then you just go log in. There it is. It's really that easy. Okay, Heather. There you go, man. Thank you, Heather, man. You rock. You know what, man? I'm trying to push the future here with crypto because there is a market for crypto donations, and that's the future, man. That's the future, everybody. Know that. Well, I don't know what to do, though, Teresa. I don't. I don't know. As long as she can comment, man. I mean, all is good for now, but I need to know who did what and so forth. Bruce Davis, right. Anyways, okay, back to this point. Now, with all of this in mind, St. Louis hiding the fact that they got his DNA, Robert Ives saying non-secular about the crime scene in regards to the signatures, and TJB having been a preacher, a Christian preacher. Now, any man that goes out and commits crimes like that was a Christian preacher, has a mental problem. He has mental issues. And those mental issues are one thing. It's dealing with the dark entity, a very dominant, like a sadistic, dark entity, that he's dealing with. It's got to be something down that alley. But that's what all of it hides. This is where all of those missing pieces that were taken away so that we couldn't see them, that's where they're all at. That's what they all relate right back to. Now I'm going to ask, is anybody thinking that I'm wrong here? That this is not the reason that they took them down? Anybody, man, throw it up. Hey, Diehard, how you doing? Maybe so. Well, it's all that I can come up with because I really didn't place that with Holman saying St. Louis until I went looking for the interview. And when I couldn't find it and then went to find that specific interview, I'm like, it's the lost one. That's when he makes mention of St. Louis. Now, I had people right away saying, well, isn't that weird, though? I mean, isn't that odd that he would just say St. Louis of all places? It wasn't like Missouri. He said St. Louis. And I thought, well, yeah, it's odd, but at the same time, I mean, I knew that he wasn't speaking retroly about Thomas Bruce. If he was, I mean, then that would just be a misstep in what he said. And then I could see why they took it down. But he did not indicate Thomas Bruce by name. He didn't say we have a suspect or there's a suspect we're looking at in St. Louis or anything like that. So it's a little odd why they would take that down, aside of the simple fact that he said St. Louis. Yeah. Yeah, very, very true. But even on that, he knew that if he was arrested, he knew his fingerprints were coming back to right to where places he had been. So he had good reason to be in a rage. But then again, this is me. If I was talking to a cop like that under similar circumstances, I would probably still be behind bars. That's just kind of like how I look at it. He's sitting there saying, I pay your taxes, MFR, and all this crap. Oh, yeah, nah, you're just a little drunk, go home. That's messed up, man. Why not? Well, again, that is the whole thing, Mary. It is just the simple fact that it is female. 83 all the way down to 9, the way that I can tell it. Those are the age ranges. 9 to 83. It could be older, it's just how that guy's mind operates. If you are a female, period, he wants to humiliate you. He wants to degrade you. That's his purpose. Me? I got barter items. I have all kinds of barter items. No, I have not. I have not heard that. I believe that they have. I'm going to say quite some time ago. But that's only because that's what I'm looking at. I know that when they found out, and I could fast track that by saying that they would fast track that. When they got Thomas Bruce's DNA, the FBI arrived in St. Louis right after his arrest. I think day 1 they called Carroll County, man. Day 2, or maybe even that day, the FBI was there on the news. The news is like making the thing of this. The FBI stopped here today, to obtain Thomas Jerome Bruce's DNA. Local investigators feel that this doesn't look like this is the first time this man has done something like that. So they're going to run his DNA through CODIS and try to find a match. Nothing's come back yet. Duh. Because even on a fast track, it takes 2 weeks. So yeah, nothing had came back yet. But she said they're still looking. That was it. That was the last that was heard about it. It was big news for about 3 days. All of the St. Louis stations were running it. Gone. They took it all of it, every word of it offline, every station. Now, again, I got a hold of KOMB. And I had asked on telephone, I said, I just wanted confirmation that this occurred. It was on your station. We've seen it, and it's gone from online. Just want confirmation. So the lady called me today from KOMV, and it was very odd. Very odd call. She says, yeah, is Michael Stroop there? I'm like, yeah, this is him. Oh, this is so-and-so from KOMV calling on your call. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, go ahead. She goes, well, what is that you needed to know? So I explained it to her, and she's like, yeah. Do you have any interest in other cases? Like other cases? What kind of question is that? No, I'm asking this one question that has nothing to do with other cases. So I said, well, there's a few other cases that I'm looking into, but it has nothing really to do with, what I'm asking you for. Right. I said, well, when I had talked to the other lady, she said, well, I can't find anything online. I said, well, that's because it's been taken down from online. She goes, well, I'll check with the news department and I'll get back a hold of you. Well, this lady got back a hold of me, and she acted like the first lady, man, even a little bit inquisitive about it. So she says, well, I'll check into that and I'll get back with you. Hopefully, and I even wrote a reporter concerning the same, hey, man, if you could just say, that, yeah, it did happen. I mean, we did run that. You're right. Okay, great. That way, I mean, I'm not just sitting here looking like an idiot repeating things that didn't happen. Look, man, what I should have did is everything should have recorded it. You should have recorded it. It's just like the first picture of Abby, man, that came out on telephone, had the timestamp. Gone. It's gone. You cannot find that. Unless you initially saved it right after the crime, it's gone. Not concerning Delphi, no. No, he's down there for first-degree murder. They cannot talk to him until he gets convicted. When he is convicted, then Michigan, Iowa, Indiana, and probably California as well will go talk to him concerning crimes that he is matched to via fingerprints, DNA, and, of course, well, I guess it'd just be speculative in some areas on Evansdale, would it not? Well, yes, but that's the reasoning. I mean, he's being represented by a lawyer. That lawyer represents him, so you can't bring an outside case in. Excuse me, they are trying him for first-degree murder. And what I do not need is you bringing other murders into the equation when I'm trying to get him a fair trial. That's how they look at it. So they cannot just exactly. And I don't know why people don't go fact check this. When I say things, man, go fact check this. Just go fact check. Daniel Nations. He was big, huge news, man. Go back a couple of years ago. Big, huge news. He was the person of interest. Indiana investigators flew out there to Colorado to go talk to Daniel Nations. They came back and they said, well, we can either include nor exclude him as being a suspect at this time. Well, we knew that before you left. No, the truth was they didn't get to talk to him. Daniel Nations told me, my public defender, without consulting me, turned him away at the door when I wanted to talk to him and give my DNA so that this shit would be put behind me. No, his public defender, when Daniel Nations was in there on 4 minor felonies, turned him away at the door. No. When I'm done, then you can just extradite him back to Indiana and do as you please. At that point, I don't give a shit. But while he's still under my representation, you're not talking to him about a murder in another case. Thank you. So that is how they do it. And it will wait exactly like Daniel Nations. It will go exactly like Daniel Nations. Once he is convicted in November of this year, then they can all go down and talk to him because they've had 3 years to get their cases together. Try to get him into a confession or just, hey, we got you by the balls. Where were you? Let's go through the rigmarole, the regular questions, woo-de-woo, file charges. Just like that. That's the way it should roll. And you know what? November is only, 4 months away. It's coming right down the road, man. Right down the road. Hey, Kenny. How you doing? All right, well, let me see. I've been talking for 24 minutes. Seems like all night. Yeah, they did. It was, I think, for August the 2nd, and then they moved it from August 2nd to November the 1st. Now, my thought on that was this. It's been 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I would say to the defense, in 2.5 years, if you do not have a case that defends your client, what in the hell are you doing? You see where I'm at? And that was my immediate thoughts. I thought, why are they setting this up again? Why are they postponing it one more time? Why do they keep this in postponement? And then it clicked. Well, November, December, January, bam, February. The 5th date of Delphi. That will be the date of the announcements. Most likely. That's not wrote in stone, and nobody told me that. I'm just kind of speculating 3 months. That would be the best time right there. Well, it's not like that. It isn't like that, Mark. It is not like that at all. In fact, I'm not trying to make it sound like that. TJB is down there in St. Louis for a very horrendous crime. That's ugly, man. What he did down there needs justice. Of anything, of all things that he's done, each and every one demands some justice. That's one of them. And it's not that St. Louis does not want to work with Indiana. They called Indiana. They let them know right away, hey, we think we got your guy here. But legally, as being a lawyer representing you, I can't allow that. You know, you see where I'm at? Once he's convicted, and that's the underlying, it's not like he's going to be unconvicted. Once he goes to court, whether he wins, loses, draws, or however that plays out, he's convicted. You see where I'm at? Then they can go talk to him and try him, just like that. But they can't do it while he's down there facing justice for what he did. Man, that was ugly. That was nasty. That was something that man needs to pay for. Now, he's been in jail for 3 years. And again, it's not the fact that these states don't work together. They do. Quite well, actually. But, yeah, well, let me get some other questions here. Oh, yeah, man. You know what? I did save a video on that today. I forget where I saved it. Oh, wait. Let me go see if I can find it. No, wait, that ain't it. No, shit. Oh, no, man. Let's see here. See, what would Delphi? No, that ain't it. Nope. Yeah, I don't even know, man. Did I put it in here? Yes, I did. I did, man. Yeah, video is up there. There we go. Okay. Now, take a quick look at this, everybody. Take a quick look. You know, I'm going to get rid of this banner here. It says MJK. Is that it? No, not that one. Oh, man, I guess it. Well, you know, it doesn't matter, does it? Let's do like so. There.
The suspect in the Catholic supply store shooting might be a serial killer responsible for a murder in Tennessee 30 years ago.
That is the warning from the co-founder of the Innocence Project. 5 Minute Side Jenna Barnes is here with what she has learned, and really a lot of twists.
A lot of twists. Another man was executed for that murder in Tennessee in 2006, but now representatives with the Innocence Project say the real killer could be Thomas Bruce. She was a young Marine Lance Corporal stationed at Millington Naval Base outside Memphis. Suzanne Collins was raped and murdered in 1985. This man, Sedley Alley, was convicted of those crimes, and 13 years ago, he was executed by lethal injection.
We need to know who did this.
In a Memphis courtroom Monday, the co-founder of the Innocence Project, which works to exonerate the wrongly convicted, argued DNA evidence that was never tested could prove Alley wasn't guilty, and he announced a new lead on who the killer might be.
We got a letter from law enforcement officials in St. Louis that an individual named Thomas Bruce had been arrested for a vicious murder.
The Catholic supply shooting last year. Bruce is accused of shooting and killing Jamie Schmidt and sexually assaulting 2 other women in the West St. Louis County store. He's also charged in the sexual assault of an elderly woman in Jefferson County months earlier. The Innocence Project says after those crimes, investigators here dug through Bruce's history
and discovered that he had gone to the same avionics training school where Suzanne Collins, the 19-year-old Marine Lance Corporal in this case, was attending classes. They were saying to us, there's a possibility that he is the serial killer that you had argued might be discovered with the DNA test all those years ago.
The Innocence Project says after 3 decades, the evidence is still there and ready to be tested.
Could be him, might be somebody else. DNA can tell us the answer.
The judge in Tennessee says she'll decide whether this DNA testing can happen by November 18th. Bruce's trial for the Catholic supply shooting is scheduled for this time next year. He's pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty. That's how he pleaded. Now, it was pushed forward a couple times since then, because that was kind of right off the bat. I think originally it was October the 13th of 2019, and then they pushed it to August the 2nd of 2021, which would be coming up. And then they halted that one and then pushed it to November the 1st. So since they got everything set up, including the jury selection, I am hopeful that it's going to pull through. He will be convicted in November. Then it will go forward, and then the charges will be filed. Man, did anybody notice that, like, right here, is green? I mean, I don't know if anybody can, like read, what's behind me through me and stuff, but there it is, man. You can, like, see right through me. It's like a bullet hole. It just won't go away. Oh, man, I can feel Cat right here, J Cat, like right in my shoulder. Dude, what? I agree. They got nothing and botched the crime scene investigation. On what? Okay. Yeah, I seen this coming a while back, but, like, you know what? Exodus, man, go fuck yourself. Well, you know what? I'm not against the death penalty. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the death penalty stops crime. It really does. Now, you can go out and say, oh, well, the guy looks like you, and they said you did it, and if you don't confess, we're going to, I'll talk to him and they'll kill you. You can say whatever you want. But the truth is if a person didn't do it and they say, man, I wasn't even there. I was here. This is what I was doing. There was people. I was doing this. I don't see how a person could become convicted or even have charges filed against them. Let me tell you, man, back in the old days, back in the old West, you know what they did? If you was convicted of murder, they would say, well, at this time tomorrow at 12 noon, we're going to hang you by your neck until you are no longer alive. Please get your stuff in order between now and then. Peace. And that was the end of it. And the next day, right there in public, they would hang you. And you know what? People didn't go out and commit crimes like they did today because it was quite obvious as to what would happen. You take away the death penalty, you know what happens? The world goes fucking crazy. Ask anybody. Ask anyone. Go ahead. Is the world crazy? You know what the answer is probably going to be from most everybody? Yeah, it is. Yeah, you bet it is. Why? Because they took away everything that mattered. They took away liberty. They took away freedom. They took away money. They took away everything that relates to a person being free. They took it all away. And you know what? Nobody knows that. Nobody gets it. Nobody understands. They just don't. This is me, man, when it comes to the death penalty. Yes, if you are convicted beyond a reasonable doubt, you will hang by your neck until you are dead in the public center. And if you don't want to see it, don't show up at this time. That's when it will happen. And if you're offended by that, I don't give a shit. You're offended. Big deal. You and about 98% of the rest of the world's offended. And the other 2% of us, we're fucking over it. We really are. Yeah. You know what, Kenny? I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, that's just the thing. I mean, what you're saying is if there's any like reasonable doubt. Well, if there's any reasonable doubt, the man isn't to be convicted. Firstly, I'm not saying it works like that because, yeah, like even like right now, I'm sure there's somebody on death row that don't need to be there. And I'm sure it's went like that back through time. But let's look at the honest fact, man. Like the Night Stalker, Ted Bundy, oh hell, I throw in BTK, John Wayne Gacy, Dahmer. You know, all of those people, yeah, man. I mean, like you can just like look at the issue, look at what they did, look at who they are, how they acted, and this and that, and say, yeah, you know what? Here's the big issue with capital punishment. It's the money. You know, they get an automatic appeal, then they get another appeal, and then they get to appeal the appeal, and it goes forever and costs millions and millions and millions of taxpayer dollars. And that's where the BS lies. That's exactly where it is. Well, you didn't have that back in the day. Actually, if you are proven beyond a reasonable doubt, like, yeah, you're that dude, all right, well, it should not be that kind of appeal. I mean, look, they took away everybody's liberty and freedom. Why should you give a serial killer that kind of freedom to blow your money? No, that's where you pull them out. You attach a rope and you drop them by their, you know, until they're dead by the following day at noon. There it is. And you know what? That crime stops because no one wants to be caught in that and hung publicly. Then you're going to look like a real jackass out there swinging, won't you? That's right, you will. Heather, you missed everything. I'm sorry. You missed it all, man. I apologize. Yeah, well, they really do. What's the name of the one brother? I think one of them died. Almost had it. You know, in California, man, where they killed their parents with a shotgun. You know what I'm talking about? And one of them died, you know? And the other one's still alive, though. But anyway, man, look, you know, yeah, Menendez, man, exactly. Thank you, man. Right on, Sonder. You know what? You rock, man, big time. Menendez brothers, exactly. Now, the one's still out there on death row, you know, and I mean, you know what? If he didn't die of natural causes, the Night Stalker would still be on death row. John Wayne Gacy was on death row for over 20 years before they killed him. The quickest that I remember dying was Ted Bundy. And that's just simply because Florida said, you know what? We're not pissing with you anymore, dude. Period. This is the day. This is where it's going. That's what it's going to be. And they pulled the switch. He was like one of the last, man, like serial killers to die with the electric chair. And I mean, like, seriously. Yeah, I believe that one of the Menendez brothers died. I think so. And again, man, so did the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, man, died of natural causes, waiting to die. You know, it's like, wow, crazy, isn't it? Well, 90 people. And, you know, I'm sure that everybody showed up to catch the missing pieces, but I had done talked about it, man. I kind of had. And it goes one more time like this. Ah, yes, right finger. It's Holman. The Holman, the missing lost interview on Fox 59 in Indiana. That's the one that can't be found. The entire full interview taken offline. Why? Because he mentioned the word St. Louis. 2, the FBI. They got the DNA of TJB in St. Louis. Went down there and it was all over the St. Louis media, and they're talking about them getting the DNA because local investigators felt this wasn't the first time that he had pulled something off like this in his past, and they was trying to connect him to other crimes through his DNA. All of that pulled offline. Cannot find a word of it. 3, the interview with Robert Ives when he was talking about the crime scene in Delphi and said that the signatures or one of the signatures was non-secular. That also gone, pulled offline. All of that so that you, the viewing public, could not see or hear that. And all of it amounts to the same person, the same little dude, TJB. That's why. Yeah, but there's no reason for her to be KAT. I mean, Greeno's got his own channel. I got my own channel. Yeah, thank you, man. Exactly. There it is, man. If you were convicted, and it does depend upon the murder. I mean, let's be real. If it's something that could be deemed maybe self-preservation, mental, there are some little avenues that would escape. But if it's corporate, if it's capital, if it's first degree and you set out to go murder that person, yeah, that should be. He has absolutely no ties, to my knowledge, to Delphi, aside of driving by Delphi back and forth from his family's house up northern Indiana and Montrose, Michigan in the Genesee County area. Yeah. But then science would turn around and say everybody's serial killers and they would abort us all at birth. I know how they play that game. Oh, and again, this right here in chat, that is COINBASE. That is COINBASE. Just go there, log in, like right there, go there, say, like, go up and register, man, put your information in, whoop-de-woo, get yourself an account. Go right down that first page, make $30 in crypto. $30 in crypto right there for you. $30 free. Call that on me. And not only that, if in fact, man, with that $30, if you're not satisfied with that $30 and you put $100 in to say, like, buy Bitcoin or what have you, they will give you an added $10 worth of Bitcoin because you used my link. And not only that, when you join, I think you get an added $5 just for joining, which would make it $35. So, yeah, man, $35. Who now would say no to $35? Man, I remember when $35 was a day's pay. When it takes 20 minutes, you would think people would just go join, man, that they would be a part of the future. And, then they would send Cat like $5 in Bitcoin. That would be super cool. Yeah, right. Thank you. Exactly. You know what, man? I bought Cardanos when they were $1.14 a piece, and they went up to, I think it was $2.09. It was almost 100%. I had put 300 in, and I pulled it out when it hit like 207. When it hit like over $2, went to 209. As soon as it started to drop, I sold. And I took that money and then put that into Bitcoin as well. It's a good thing to be in, and it don't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you crap, nothing. You just go there, you log in, and you go right down the thing, get your $35 right there, just like that. And there it is, $35 from me, Michael J. Cat, to you. a viewer of mine on YouTube. Thank you. And let's just say you do that. Don't forget that right there, that's my crypto wallet. That's where you would send me like $5 at. Right there, man. Right where it says Michael Cat 3 CV, that, man. That's my crypto address. So when you get that, you can hit send it to there. Boom, I get my $5. And it would be just like a crypto donation. This is going to be so positive for the world. I would like to be the one to like bring crypto donations to the forefront. With your help, together, you and I, we can do this. We can accomplish this dream of dreams. Yeah, see? She did it, man. And not only did she do it, she sent me $5, man. I mean, show dedications to Heather, man. Show dedications right there, man. All day long. Because Heather just did exactly what I said. She went there, man. She logged in, got her money, boom. You know, and sent me $5, which was really good. And I mean, like, even if you don't send me $5, hey, enjoy $35 and the, the exchange, man. It's a way to the future. All right, so, well, 46 minutes, and it seems like it's been all night. Next week, Sir Mitch, the man who calls himself Sir Mitch, his name is Michael Green, but every time I seen Michael Green, I thought Mitchell Green, the boxer. And so he now goes by Sir Mitch. He will be on the show, and I thought he would be on tonight. And then it hit me suddenly today about the missing pieces. And I thought, man, that's all I really got to go on, man. That's all I got to really sit down and talk. I could open the floor for Q&A if anybody wants to Q&A. You know, you can Q me. I can A you. It will be really simple. Man, don't be nasty, people. You know what I meant. Okay, no questions thus far. That's fine. You know what? Wasn't expecting any right off the bat. I mean, there's a delay here. I don't know how long the delay is, but sometimes it can be like, 20 minutes or something. See, Mark Ramsey has a comment. Oh, Insomniac, wait, put that damn bit. Well, I'm sorry, man. Oh, hang on. Mark Ramsey, he says, I have a couple more suspects in mind following the many different rabbit holes, including the most recent suspect, not mentioning names. Mark Ramsey, well, it's quite clear that you are missing one vital piece of information. And that is that the suspect had never been caught committing a crime in his past. He had never been jailed. Not one time, ever. Okay? Now, these people that you imply are a suspect, and I think I know the names of those that you are not mentioning, all have criminal backgrounds, including felonies. When Trooper Kim Riley says, we can find no traces of him, if he had been caught with a felony in his past, they would have found more than traces of him. They would have had a pistol up his ass by noon that day. So, there you are. Yes, I do. In 90 and 91, he was stationed at San Diego in the Navy, living in Escondido. He was stationed on the USS Kitty Hawk. When he was at sea, when he was on land, he was there in San Diego. He was married there and divorced in 1993 with his first wife. He was married twice. First wife he had at least one kid with, and he lost that kid in the divorce, to my knowledge. That kid was no longer with him, but I don't know where that kid was living. If I knew where the kid was living and felt that he had traveled back and forth from St. Louis to where that kid was living, then I could have, like, you know what? Then I thank you very much for that, Mod. because, you know, actually I should see where that kid is living, because if there is any physical correspondence between the two, if he goes to see his kid, probably looking up through that direction between St. Louis and there at unsolved rape, murder, so on, could lead to further crimes. And I thank you for that, Mod. You see, and you would think, right? You would think that in like 3 years that would have crossed my mind. It never really did, and I don't know why. Yeah. Yes. He continued, there's a possibility that he's done something, but we can find no traces. No, I think that final word was not it. I think that he said no traces of him. You know what? Hang on. Let me go find that, because we can take a quick listen. All right, hang on here. And let me get rid of that. Okay.
We got a case that you know, this person's never apparently committed a crime before. We have, you know.
You would feel that he had never committed a crime. He has no DNA in the database.
Well, I can't comment on that, but I'm just saying that's what it looks like. I mean, there's a possibility he's done something, but we can't find no traces of it.
That was my first thought. I thought anybody at that age. It sounds to me like he'd never been caught committing any crimes before, but we can find no traces of him. Now, it could be it could be him, it could be, you know, or so forth. It's really hard to tell because there was traffic going by that kind of muffles those words a little bit. In fact, I might take that through Audacity and take some of the traffic noise out and see if it can become a little bit more clear. Now, it's just like, oh, hey, there's Marvelous Marvin, man. Hey, Mark. Nice seeing you. And Bogey, who has yet to reach me. He keeps throwing up chess moves, but he never reaches me, man. Right there's my email address. Flip and reach me, Bogey. Just do it, dude. I'm not sure who asked me to apologize. I'm trying to look up here. Don't even see it. Anyways. Oh, for reward? No. In fact, I will say this, as far as the FBI reward goes, that is $250,000 in two separate cases that I believe TJB did. I called both of those in. Okay. However, if the FBI, if they actually said, no, this is your money and, there you go, it's yours, that money would be taken from me and given to the families in both cases, $500,000. That is a sincere promise. I am not working for reward money. Now, if it is a citizen's reward, then yes, then that would be fine, because that's the citizens that put that up. But the FBI, the big money reward, that goes to the families. And, I don't think that it should be given to me. I mean, I got his name from when St. Louis reached Carroll County. That's how I come up with the name. It shouldn't be given to me. And I think that when this is all said and done, if the FBI does not give that to the families, that there is wrong, that there's some wrong there being done. Well, it's a rational theory. I mean, you know, in a lot of cases, in many cases, and I can use one, and I forget what her first name is, but her last name was Bustamante, and she was a young girl, but she killed the little girl that lived next door that was friends, I think, with her little sister. Like really butchered her up and buried her, you know, and stuff like this. Well, when she was caught and brought in, and once she, you know, they're like, yeah, we know you did it. Why? Well, I just wanted to see what it felt like to kill somebody. And that just really plays in more in what a person says after they know they're caught, because they don't really want to come forward with what was really going on in their mind at that time, if you see where I'm at. Now, I can say this in regards to that when it comes to TJB. Now, he did, and maybe in the original sense, I don't think that it came down that he killed the first person just to see what it was like to kill someone. Because if it was just, oh, that's what it feels like. Well, gee, I didn't like that very much. It felt pretty evil. You see where I'm at? Yeah, I didn't like that at all. You know, that's how a person would rationally feel about that. I think that there's another line, you know, that had caused that first one. And seriously, if you are looking at like a sadistic serial killer, someone that uses women the same way the TJB has, and, you know, past and all crimes that I can connect him to, you know, he's very abusive, you know, humiliates, degrades, very ugly. It's very demonic in the way that he does it. It is like, best I can say without getting too graphic, it's just ugly, man, like insane to a point of demonism. Is, yeah, I don't know, man. For a guy that was a Christian pastor, man, you would just never expect anything like that. They should pay me in Bitcoin. Dude, where are you at? I don't even know who you are talking about, but my answer is yes. If anybody's going to pay me, if you could do that in Bitcoin, that would be, that would just be the best. Yeah, far less than a mile. Far less. It was right up the private drive, actually. You know what? If you was to walk out on Monon High Bridge over the water, which is not very much. I mean, mind you, it's over 800 feet across from one side to the other, as far as the bridge itself goes. But there's only like, yeah, maybe a little bit wider than the room I'm in right here. That's Deer Creek, you know, of that. Now, when you're standing right over the middle of Deer Creek and you're looking down, you can see rocks in the bottom, man. You know, it ain't very deep. You know, fairly clear water when it ain't flooded or anything. But if you was to go 70 feet off into like 3 feet of water, you know, that's the kind of thing. But, man, I will say this. It has been up for 126 years. 126 years that bridge has been there. And not one person in 126 years has fell off that bridge. Not one. Not a single person. In fact, that bridge will still hold the train. So, yeah, what is going on in August, man? Yes, they will give you $5. Hold on, Corn Pop, hold. They will give you $5 when you join. But on the flip side of the $5 they give you, if you look down the first page after you join, you can go right through that video, select the answer. Right there, you're going to make $30. Now, that right there gives you $35. $35, just like that. Now, you got to look down the whole page, Corn Pop. You know, don't look at just brief information. Look at all of it. It's all there, just as I said, you know, as I had personally stated. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But that's true. Now, in the interview that I was doing right there, and it was really just, I think, 3 questions with Kim Riley. After he had stated that, you know, when he said that, well, it's like the guy had never committed a crime. We can find no traces of it. I said, that seems odd. It seems like a man of that age that would commit a crime like that would certainly have priors. His response was, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to start somewhere. Well, not standing to a side of braggadocio here, but I certainly found the priors. I mean, I found prior murders that he committed and called him in. I said, this is the guy you're looking for. And I told you guys about it. Does anybody remember that? Yeah, man. Look, man. Go look up Mary Pryor. Spelled like this. Look in chat. Mary Pryor. Just like that. I believe it's just like that. Look up Mary Pryor, murdered, Michigan, and even put in Lennon. Lennon, Michigan. Read the specifics on her murder. That right there, because he was living in Flint at that time, that was TJB. Lennon, little bitty spot in the road, little bitty dot, 1 bar town. She lived right across the street from the bar. 83-year-old lady, everybody knew her. Then look up and Bates, Montrose, Michigan. Now, those 2 right there, those 2 crimes, if you look them up, both of them had DNA and fingerprints. Law enforcement had DNA of the suspect and his fingerprints in them. Now, when law enforcement has DNA and fingerprints of you and they do not know who you are, it is a very safe bet to say that you had never got caught committing a crime before, that you had never been arrested, because you have no match. There is no match that they can find. Well, there's only one person that I know that was living locally there that had DNA and fingerprints that could be found that would not match, and that's TJB. I know one guy that drinks and gets in this kind of mentality after he's been drinking. That's TJB. Ann Pates, her car broke down on the side of Highway 58, 2 miles east of Montrose, 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, that's the same time that the bars closed. Montrose, at the time, 1999, 1 bar town. Guess who was there drinking it with his friends in his hometown that lived in Flint? TJB. He's on his way home going up Highway 58, sees a car broke down. Hey, man, can I lend you some help, man? I live there in Montrose. That's where she was heading. I'll just turn around and take you where you need to go. Next morning, a jogger finds her dead in the on the side of a country road, neck sliced open, sexually assaulted, DNA and fingerprints right there. Now, that told me right there, both of them was the same guy. Same guy I'm looking for. Same brutality, the same guy, same exact. No, I say all this, man, and I see fact check it. And you know what? I don't think many people are going to be fact checking, because I've been saying this stuff for a few years now, man. Yes, Heather, you must be very, very new to the channel, because I've been on that for like 3 years. In fact, if you go back a couple of videos I did ago, I did the similarities between Evansdale and Delphi. If you go to my channel, which should be like right under here, under the video, click on Michael Cap, right down under the thing. I'll take you to my channel. When you're on my channel, click on the video tab, and then go back and look for similarities between Evansdale and Delphi. It was a more recent video. But that right there, because in that, I mean, I give the similarities between them, which are numerous. And that is why I believe that there was an FBI agent in Delphi on the 14th before the girls were found. They had made the connection. 2 girls, small town, small hiking trail, came up missing on the reverse date of Evansdale. This might be a very bizarre coincidence, they thought, or we might be looking at the same guy doing the same thing. We better have an agent there, because if it is foul play, we can get fresh evidence and maybe nail this man. That's why they had an FBI agent in Delphi that quick. Well, no. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, normally, I mean, because if a person's around my channel very often, they probably heard me mention that at least about every other show, if not every show. No, they do not have DNA. Oh, wait, sorry. They do not have DNA, to my knowledge, in Evansdale. And the reason for that is where he took him to at Seven Bridges Park and dropped him off was right down by the creek, and it was down in a little bitty dip, in like a dip area. The hunters that found him said, like, we was walking right by it, and you literally had to look down in there, to see him. They said, that the girls' bodies were hid very well. But it was over 6 months since the time that it had happened, so the bodies were skeletal. Now, I don't even know if they had their clothes there, if they were posed in any way. None of that was released. To me, it seems like it would have been at a time that if it was something simple, and I'm saying, like, when I say simple, like if a neck was, or something along that line. If it was a shooting, they'd be able to tell. If it was a stabbing, through the midsection, they might be able to tell from the bone damage. But I'm going to say that likely a cause of death might not have been able to be given. It's really hard to say, but I have no idea how they died, so I can't really say that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that he was out there doing petty crimes as a Christian preacher. I think that for the most part, kind of like Ted Bundy, man. Ted Bundy said that. He said, really, when it comes down to it, he goes, my life was very normal. I did normal things like normal people. I went out normally. I went out with friends and did things. But there was that little dark side of me that always needed fed. And when I would try to ignore it, it kept coming back bigger and bigger and bigger until I'd have to go do that. And I don't think that TJB was just out there like committing petty crimes, like little things. I think that it stepped up immediately to murder when he was very young. At a very young age, man. I mean, if I go back to 1985, if he had any involvement in Susan Collins in that brutal murder, then you're looking from 85 on. And I don't think 85 was number one. I don't think that was his first, honestly. I mean, I think if I went back pre-85, it would have to be in and around Michigan. And I mean, I found the two that I could find. There were others. But I have no idea when he was like 16, 17, right in that area, how far he would drive away from his house, where he would go, things like that. That's what makes it hard, because the first time you don't really have a signature, if you see where I'm at. You go in, you would do that, and, hopefully I got away with it like that. I mean, the signatures build over time. You do this, then you do that. You got away with this. So next time you leave something that says, hey, I might be this guy, the same guy that did this, that did the same thing there, that did the same thing here. Well, when they start getting like DNA and fingerprints, then they know. That's when they can tell. If, say, somebody goes to Wyoming and commits a crime, a petty crime, like, we can make it something like really simple. And like they steal something and they grab a magazine, they're flipping through it, and then they steal something. you know, and they do this in numerous states. Now, let's just take it to a different, like, that the FBI is investigating this. Okay. Well, if they can go in and obtain those fingerprints off the magazine and things that they touched, and then come out and say, we want this guy that's stealing rubber bands. We want him really bad. But this guy's never committed a crime, so his fingerprints don't come back. Now, let's say that he has committed a crime in his past, and let's say that it's been murder. You know, let's say that there's 5 murders that this guy's committed. And in all 5, he's left fingerprints at all 5. And they know that all 5 of these match each other. Because, say I go in, I dust, and I get prints, and I say, okay, these are suspect prints right here. These came from the suspect. So they set them up right into the thing. Now, once that they are in there and they're digitally outlined, like that, then we put that in to find a match. Okay? When they put that out, no matter what you're arrested for, even if it's public intoxication, stealing rubber bands, no matter what, if you are arrested, you are fingerprinted. And those fingerprints go into a file. Now, as soon as that they go into that file, they're seeking a match. You see where I'm at? So if I put some in for a guy that's committed 5 other murders, when they go in there, they're going to connect and they're going to say, hey, the guy that's stealing these rubber bands committed 5 murders because it matches those unknown fingerprints. Do you see where I'm at? And I believe that that is what happened in St. Louis. That's why when they arrested TJB initially, when they ran his fingerprints the first time, they came back with the unknowns. And one of those unknowns was Delphi, and that's who they called. Man, hey, we arrested the guy. You know, he looks like your sketch. He was dressed exactly like Bridge Guy. This man had never been caught committing a crime before. You know, when it starts going like that, you say, well, how did they know? Was there just like some like really bright guy that covers every case ever that goes, hey, he kind of looks like Bridge Guy? No. I think that the fingerprints are what nailed him, and that's how Carroll County knew. When they called, they said in his fingerprints matchers, the unknowns that yours. That's why the FBI showed up the following day and got his DNA. And that's why everything that relates to that is offline now. Cannot be found. It's coming right out of my mouth to you, people. Right out of my mouth to you. That is how it plays. And don't forget, if you want to be that person, man, copy down that address right there. That is my Bitcoin address. And send me $5 in that 35 to that address. And next week's show will have your dedication. It will, man. It'll straight have to be dedicated to you. Oh, and if you don't have a a Bitcoin or a Bitcoin account, use this one and you get an added $5. It's just for joining, an added $5. That's $35, and you can send it right back there to me at my crypto address. Well, actually, it's my Bitcoin address. I mean, you know, I got other crypto, but oh, hey. Radar is going to after the show. There you go. And that is my crypto address right there. And it starts with 3CV. And you'll be in crypto just like that. And you'll have $30 in crypto. And you can walk around saying, well, you know, I wasn't that big on Bitcoin. But what I did was I went ahead and I put $30 in there. You know, see how it plays. And you'll watch it go up. And then one day you'll start investing. You're welcome. That's me, man. Michael J. Cat looking out for people. That's who I am, deep down in here. Yes, maybe. But I think in every one of them where it could be stated. And I think that there are those that if it did apply, it should not be stated. And And that's for the good. I mean, because in some cases, if it did, we don't need to know about that. And that is on a jury, and I feel bad that the jury would have to hear about that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see, man, like a box of stuff, and I did hear that, and I'm not sure where, but I did hear it, and I don't think it was from a person. I think that it was from law enforcement, or the news had made a comment to that after raiding his house, they searched it, and they did that they did remove other items. Now, other items would relate to crimes. And again, man, I mean, I kind of draw back Ted Bundy. He was sadistic. He was, he had a type, though. And most have a type. Even BTK had a type. Gary Ridgway. They all had like a type that they want. Now, mind you, TJB's type is female. Matters not age at all. Drunk. She's a female. I can humiliate. Now, he wants to relive that, because that humiliation to them is what makes him feel powerful. That's what makes him feel good. You see where I'm at? So would he or would he not try to get that on videotape? Now, I think if we could go back in time with today's technology and Ted Bundy would have. He would have videotaped. I think all of them would have. I think because they want to remember the looks on those people's faces. That's what makes them feel good. So I think that may have been part of what was hidden. 60 likes out of 91? What the hell? Are you kidding me? Man, God, look, man. It's a little thumbs up down there, man. That helps, too. It really does. Look, man, it's not like I have to be here. I mean, look, I don't have to be here like being in entertainment. I don't have to be. Man, I could be out right now roaming the countryside with Puppy right now. I mean, just hit the little thumbs up, man. It would do me a big favor. And thank you. All right, man. BS with the thumbs. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I heard. Was the same under the trailer in a box. But again, and it plays in because he needed to keep that hidden from his wife. Firstly, his wife. And you got to put it in a place where your wife's not going to go, not going to look, not going to run across in the house, inside of a trailer. Best place, under the house, in an area, where she's not going to go looking, scoping around at. So, man, you always forget to hit the thumb. You know what? If you guys knew, every video that I watch, if I get anything out of that video, I hit the thumbs up, every single one. Yeah, Bundy would have recorded. All of them would have. This is why they go back to the crime scene, so that they can relive that moment. And again, it sounds kind of graphic, but it's true. Ted Bundy would go back to a woman that he had murdered, and raped, and he would go back and redo that as they were dead, after they had been dead, because it was part of reliving that experience. If he videotaped that, you see where I'm at, then could review it, then it seems like something that would be more in the area of a sadistic serial killer would want. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait. Man. Every time I try to click on one, it jumps up one. Right. Well, that's the hope that I have, because if he did, and I did put that in my last letter to him, I said, I don't really know, I mean, I can't say point of fact that they found a box under his trailer, but I do remember something along that line being stated by the media in St. Louis. Now, if they did state that, and that is what I said to him, if that was, in fact, something that they did state, or you had hidden somewhere, like videotape of any of these crimes. Law enforcement's fully in the know. I mean, they've watched it. They viewed it. There is nothing more incriminating than having the murder on videotape. You see where I'm at? Now, I think, again, that's part of the setup, because they wanted this out by February 13th, I believe. Don't take it as fact. But I believe that they wanted it out by February 13th, and they thought, well, August, we would be releasing that a little early, quite early, because you got multiple states and all of them want to agree to a time. So if they set that up to where it's in November, 6 days, understand, now this is what it says, 6-day jury trial. Let me ask you, how many jury trials do you know of that last 6 days for first-degree murder and 17 other felony counts? I can't think of any. In fact, O.J. Simpson's jury trial went over a year, I think. Like over a year. So why would he go in and have a first-degree murder trial that lasts 6 days? Unless he was confessing, same way BTK did. He goes in, he confesses to it, and then gives it to a jury to decide life or life without parole, because that would be his options. Now, he knows he ain't getting away with it. He left 2 of those women alive that can say, yeah, that's the man, all right. Yeah, that's the guy that did that. There is no way out. So I think that he's going to go in, confess, because in 3 years, sitting in isolation, in suicide watch, he's come to the conclusion that, hey, I'm hit. Not only am I hit, I'm never going to get out. I'm hit for this. I'm hit for Michigan. I'm hit for Delphi. I'm hit for Evansdale. I'm hit for California. I'm hit for, he's hit, and he knows he's hit. And everybody asks the same thing. Well, what if he just says, well, I ain't saying nothing? Then they'll convict him on the evidence. Period. They don't mess around. It ain't like they need you to confess. You know how many times I've been in jail? You know how much time I've done for not confessing? All of it. I never went in and confessed. Prove it. That's the way, prove I did that shit. Wait. Well, the Lost Holman interview was done with, God, what was her name? Yeah, somebody just typed it up there earlier. Alexa McAdams or something like that. And that's the Lost Holman interview. Now, the Lost interview with Robert Ives, man, I forget the guy's name. I forget what it was, and I was looking it up earlier. But he's the one that did that when he's spoken non-secular. Also gone. Now, along with all these missing items, I can also throw in my old channel. My old channel, Michael Stroop, my real name. They took it down. And do you know why it was taken down? Because it was up. It was big. Yeah, it had 8,700 subscribers. It was a nice big channel making YouTube money. It was really great. Till Delphi happened. And what happened? I owned the Delphi. I mean, like if you put in Delphi murders in Google or YouTube, I was going to be the first 10 pages. And what did they say? No, he ain't getting in above Rafael Sanchez. Thank you. No, that's our media. And we don't want him stationed above that. But the AI had already stationed me above that. So what they do? They deleted my channel with 736 videos taken offline. Whoop, deleted. They'll do it, and they'll do it in a minute. In fact, I'm going to say after he's convicted and before charges are filed, they will delete this channel here as well. Same way. Watch. I got every video downloaded, every single video downloaded. Don't forget that. They'll go right back up. I need a new name. You'll know the new name. I'll come up with it. Maybe it'll be under the True King of Uganda or some shit like that. I don't know. The information for the sketches was the people that seen him. And in Delphi, that was the lady that was walking her dogs that lived on the south side of the bridge, and the flannel shirt guy who was walking the trail to Monon High Bridge and past the suspect. Those are two people that gave the details for his sketches. Even when I was a youngin', my God, man. I think I started my old channel in 2012. Let's say that was 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I wasn't even a youngin'. But I thank you, Radar. I thank you. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that is in part kind of where I'm at. There's a reason. There is. There's a reason that they removed these pieces. And I do know that there's reasons that they removed these pieces. There are reasons that they did the Delphi briefing. They knew who did it. They knew who did it 5 months before the Delphi briefing. They knew. Hey, Connor Lyons. How you doing, Connor? Oh, yeah, that's going back. I remember. Then I remember growing it. Well, I named him now. Now his name's Benito. You know, I mean, once it gets so long, you know, you can like name him, you know. I mean, you know, this is his good side. He likes pictures from here. You know, not so much this side though, but yeah, definitely this way. He enjoys that. Yeah, I didn't have no beard for a while. I even had shorter hair. In fact, oh wait. Hang on. This is at the beginning. Oh wait. Yeah, man. You know what? There's a couple I want to show you. Set tight. Let me see. Where do I go here? No, that ain't it. Oh wait, maybe no, that ain't it. Bridge, no. Delphi, no, that ain't it. No, that ain't it either. Crap, man. That ain't it. Holy crap. What did I do with it, man? Oh, wait. No, there it is. Right down here. Now, check this out. Hang on. Let me get rid of this here real quick. Oh, wait. I got to get rid of that too. Okay. Hey, England, man. What up? My brother was born there. Oh, I have no idea, William. Really none at all. Hold on. Let me get to this here. Now, I want you to look at this picture. This was taken shortly after the crime. Shortly after. Now, I want you to see right here, that's snow. All of this is snow right here. This is the south side of the bridge. Let me blow it up a little bit. The south side, okay? Now, I want you to see that this and going back is taped off. The south side of the bridge back here is taped off on the south side. Now, ladies and gents and people just like it, that's exactly where I say that he was stationed at. That's where he was sitting and wait for somebody to come up to that bridge and start to cross on the south side. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there for a minute. Now, let's see. Also, there should be a picture right here of me somewhere. Oh, it ain't. And where am I? Okay, that ain't it. Yeah, well, anyways. Anywho, yeah, I had one, man, where I was sitting in the car and it was like right off the go, you know, and, you know, I'm sitting there. I mean, my hair is like yay long, you know, just normal hair, like no mustache, no beard, man, just baby face, you know, completely baby face. Yeah, they know. They know exactly, Anna. They know exactly. Yeah, more than a couple of minutes. Actually, that would go upwards of about 10. I say that for a reason. Allow me to demonstrate. Get right over here. So go to here, and here, and here. And let's see, right here. All right. Let's kind of check this here out for a second. Not that. There we go. Now this here, I am getting out at the CPS building. Right here. This is where the suspect parked. Now I'm following the trail right here that goes up to the entrance. Now, if you don't know where the entrance is, it's right here where the flag is. This is Freedom Bridge, right there. And that is the entrance, straight ahead, where the flag is. Well, you know, crappy video action there. But I'm walking that pathway up. Crap. Oh, man. You know, if I could just pull that down. Now, that pathway, I'm going to pull it up on Google Maps. Man, okay. Hey, Dave's house, man. Dave lives there. Well, Dave. Right here. Now, this is where I started at. Right here. This is the CPS building. Right here. So it's right across from Anderson's. Right here. And this is the path right here that I'm walking up. Goes right to here and curves right into here. This is the entrance to Monon High Bridge Trail. Right here. This is where the flag is, I think, like right in this area here. I believe that that's the flag right there. And that is to my front. Oh, crap. Man, I didn't even have it on. I did not even have it there. Let me try this one more time for those that are still here. Now, right here, this is the CPS building. It's no longer there. They took the building down. But this is where the suspect had parked that day. And this right here is the trail that I was walking on. Goes all the way up and then enters the entrance right here. This is where the trail begins. This right here is the flag right here. So let me go back to the video. And that's the trail I'm walking on right there. And I'm heading toward the entrance. Oh, let me back that up a bit. Now I'm at the entrance. That's Highway 25. That's the 765 train. Right there. That's it. And now, that was not there at the date of the crime, by the way, with the cameras and whatnot. But right here, now, the suspect is walking into the trail. Now, if we take this to its end, it takes 15 minutes. Let me back that up. If we go back to here, now right here is the bend, right there. Now I'll show that to you, and then remember, we're on the north side. That bend in the trail, oh crap, went like way past. That bend in the trail is right here, right here. When you go back, it bends. See, so from here, you're looking through the woods to go back. Now, if I pull that up here, this is the trail back behind it. Now, we know that the suspect was not here. Was not back to here. So if we place him here, right here, and then we got to walk from here, which would be, this would be the minimal place that he could be behind him and not be seen in that photo, right here. Now, if we started from here and began walking up to the bridge and then across the bridge, you are looking at more than 10 minutes. At least 9 minutes. And 9 off of 22 would be 13 minutes. Now, that is excluding the time that it would take them to cross the creek, because the creek was way up. It would have been up past their waist. When I went through at that time, it probably just went above my, up toward my knee. I mean, it was really low, when I went across. But if it was up to my waist like it was at that time, it would have took longer to cross that creek. And don't forget, the Cheyenne was there. Now, she was on the south side of that bridge and took this photo right here. Let me find it right here. Oh, okay. Took this photo right here. And that was at 2:49. I was there around 3. She said I didn't see them. Now, this is the south side of the bridge looking to the north, right there, from the south side. Now, she did not see them. But I believe that when the suspect was coming out from the north side, here, the crime scene being here approximately, he came up and was walking this way. Well, at the same time that Cheyenne was walking down this way. If he had to maintain behind a tree back here to let Cheyenne and her friend get to here before coming out at the bend here, and then walking back and crossing flannel shirt guy in this area here, then it makes all the sense. But I don't think that this crime was rushed. Law enforcement never came out and said, this was a very rushed job. They said there was minimally 3 physical signatures at the crime scene. Brutal murder. It did not look rushed at all. Now, I don't think that it took all day. In fact, 22 minutes seems rather short to me. But saying 22 minutes is one thing. Saying 10 to 12 minutes, that's entirely different. Now, again, man, I can't go saying factually he was on the left, but I can really look at this. And again, man, I'm going to pull up this picture. You know, stop me if you like, but this is the picture right here. Oh, shit. It ain't there now, man. Man, what the hell am I doing? Here, right here. That the south side of the bridge was taped off by law enforcement. You see? Right here. It was taped off immediately. Now, this right here was not private property. This right here was owned by CSX Railroad. I know it says private property, but that is not the case. In fact, I will go a step further, and I will do it like so. Oh, wait, maybe. Let me go back here. Okay, this is flannel shirt guy talking.
A little bit beyond, and then a big distance from the bridge and starts the railroad property. People go out there, but it's still owned by the railroad.
See, people go out there, but it's still owned by the railroad. The trail ends where Monon High Bridge begins. You know, when you walk that trail, when you hit Monon High Bridge, that's where the trail ends. It don't go onto the bridge. You can go out on the bridge and you can cross that bridge, and even the other side out to County Road 200, where the tracks were, was CSX Railroad property at that time. So I don't think that CSX Railroad put up that it was private property. It was done by police because they taped off that whole area to the south side, down, and the crime scene area. That's a good question, but I have nothing that I can say one way or the other. I believe that he may have went over there and walked across the creek to get over there. In fact, man, I got one. Let me go pull that up as well, if I can find it. Let me see. It'd be in here. That was, let me see, Donnie. I think it was Donnie. Okay, we are arriving toward, we are on, that ain't it. This is from approximately, that's the ravine, back up at the ravine. Now that's right there, that ravine goes up to the west side of the cemetery and all the way up. Now we are, I'm trying to get to the right there. There we go. Now this is the crime scene area. Now I want you to look at this. The entire inside of this is in like a half a bowl. All of that in front of you and to the left is a hill. Everything all around that. Now, when I turn back to the left, and hopefully I do, that's Deer Creek. Okay, there's left. Now, do you see the giant hill? Now, I want to point this out, that hill, let me get back over to here. Oh, Jesus H, man. You know what, man? People, you should be able to just call me, man, and say, hey, dude, guess what? We can't see a damn thing. That's how you should play that. All right, let me back this up a bit. All right, here it is. Pay attention. Now, when I go right up this way, because I think I face back, yeah, right there's Deer Creek. Right there. And I face back to the left, right there. Now, that right there, and let me see, I'm going to pull this up. That right there, that hill, all of that. This is where I'm standing, and it goes right back around here. That is a giant hill right there that goes all the way around, 70 feet tall. Now, if a person's down here with a 70-foot hill going around them like that, and you're down in a holler, somebody that's up here on that trail isn't really just going to hear you talking. You know, it isn't like that. And I believe that since he was seen over here, and that's why the south side of that bridge is taped off, because he was seen there by the lady that lived here that was walking her dogs. They came across him down here. I think that from 12:30 to 2 o'clock, through that hour and a half, he had went down, scouted this side, may have went across and said, yeah, this is the area where I want to take him. This is secluded. It's got a hill all the way around. It can't really be seen by any place. You know, and I think that that might have been part of the reason that he had went over there, you know, to go over and then look at that and say, yeah, I can go over here and that's going to be very quiet. It's going to be very surreptitious. Can't people in the trail really hear me? You know, can't people see me from anywhere? So I think that that was part of what he was thinking. Now, he may have done that, but I don't know. Law enforcement knows. I mean, law enforcement went over there and could see where he had traveled, where he had walked in, how many times he'd been over there, each footstep. They know all of that. So no, I don't have a landline. I have a cell phone, but I'm giving that up. I got a $400 phone bill to call in Tasmania. But even besides that, man, they tried to hit me with like $270 for the first bill. And I'm like, for what? Like, look, man, I could have went into Kokomo and had this hooked up and working with the same thing you gave me for $40. I'm not paying you $270. Well, you have to. I won't. So I'm not going to. And AT&T can jam that right up their backside. So anyway, yeah, right. But, you know, I'm still, man, look, my cell phone works on Wi-Fi. I can still call people. I don't think they can call me, though. But yeah, well, I think that he found that because if I pull it up right here, and again, I'm going to try, let me remove this. Right here, if you go down and you're looking at that creek, where are you going to think that the most shallow part is? You can see where the trail goes, where you go down right here, you hit that car trail right here, and it comes out here, right there. Now, when we got down to there, down that car trail the one time, when you look across, this is sand. This is sand because this right here is Deer Creek. This part of Deer Creek, this is sand because right from here going across to there is pretty shallow. Now, after the murders, it was still pretty deep. I mean, if you look at the helicopter when they was like looking for the girls, you can see the rescue people in the water and like the paramedics. And I mean, they're up to their waist in water. You know, it was flooding. Some of that was because of the melt off, because it was a warm day, you know, 13th. It was a real warm day, 50s. And again, if I go back and I show you the picture, nope, that picture is gone. But on the picture it was taken right after the crime, there's already snow there. You know, on the night of the crime, you know, Tobe Leslie, sheriff of Carroll County, said that their biggest obstacle overnight will be the weather because it got down into the 20s on the night of the 13th. Yeah, man, that's how they play it, man. And look, let me tell you something about AT&T. Here it is. It costs X amount to call anywhere. If they said, this is our plan and this is what it costs, there you go. If they say, well, hey, you can have our international plan where you can call in. No, I don't want any kind of plan. What I want is to be able to get on there and I can use it whenever I want. And if you ain't got a plan for that, go jam it up your backside. And thank you for using AT&T. When they say that, I want to throw shit at them. No, seriously, I want to throw shit at them. There's quite a bit of deer out there. I mean, the one time when me and Greeno were out there, in fact, we were right down there at that shallow area at the creek. We seen a big deer, man, go across Deer Creek and then go up that hillside on the north. So, yeah, there's a lot of deer out there. In fact, it says right on the bench, oh, Deer Creek. A lot of deer there, man. But it's surrounded by woods, man. It's all patch woods. Of course, if I was the deer, I'd be hanging out there. This is on the 14th, Jay, not on the 13th. On the 13th, I mean, it was too late. I mean, you know, it was probably after 6 o'clock before they really got things back behind a search party. It was already dark. But the following morning, then the helicopters were up, and that's when the search began, and the girls' bodies were found. But in that, because they showed the paramedics or the rescue people that's in the water, searching the water walk, and I think that there was 4 men. Let me go pull that video up for you real quick. Let's see, be in here. I'm looking helicopter, right. Well, somewhere I had a helicopter. Somewhere it's on here. Ah, there it is. Okay. Hold tight. I know you guys can't see it. Hang on. There you go. Okay. Now, this right here is the helicopter, search. This is on the 14th. I think that this is after the girls were found, and I'll explain why in a minute. Oh, wait, right there. Now, do you see? That's Deer Creek. Now, look at the 4 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. It might be more than that. They are about up to their waist. The water is definitely wide there. Now, hang on, because right up here, and you'll see the cop cars. That's the cemetery right there on the lower right. And they'll come right back around. See, the girls would have been down in that area. And I think that that's when they kill it. That's the leg of the helicopter right there. Yeah, that's where it dies. Hold on. Now, yeah, okay, hold on. It's going to get right back down to the guys there in the water. Jeez. There we go. Now, you can see that it's about up to their waist. Maybe a little less than, but it was heavier water than I had went through. Now, right there, he's kind of going up toward the shore where it's shallower. But out in here, it's definitely over waist at that time. Not heavily flooded, but the water was up some. Anyways. Yeah, and they likely were. I mean, that's probably what they were doing. I assume. Kind of a search like that. Now, all of the law enforcement cars there were at the cemetery, and they were parked at the cemetery, and they were down there where the girls were found, some of them. Now, the camera footage from the helicopter had went out at that time, and I think it was removed because the girls could be seen from the helicopter, but they already knew that they was there. That's why law enforcement was already at the cemetery. Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, searching for a weapon. I mean, searching for a weapon. I mean, you know what? There could have been a weapon right there. I mean, if I'm looking at it, and again, it's what you got to hold as fact and what you can't. I can't hold that the tree that was stuck, or the knife that was stuck in the tree there where the Evansdale girls were found. Yeah, it was found by a trapper, and that much is real. And yeah, it was stuck in a tree, but it wasn't right where the girls were found. You see where I'm at? That is a hunting and trapping location for a lot of hunters and trappers. They go there specifically to hunt and trap. Well, a trapper had found that knife stuck in a tree, but that's exactly, I mean, like, look, if you're out and you got a knife and you're deer hunting or whatever, and you're doing this, you stick a knife in the tree while you're doing something and you don't grab it, it could be like that. Or it could have been left by the killer. And if it was left by the killer, would that not be a physical signature that would tie Delphi by leaving the murder weapon? You see, that's possible. If that was one of the minimally 3 signatures, physical signatures, that were left behind. They could have been, but I don't think that they were entirely, hang on. But I don't think they were stripped entirely of their clothes. But I don't know that. I don't know. I really don't. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Really at that time, well, I'm pretty sure that the people that were in the creek knew that the girls' bodies had been found at that time, because they're right there. Law enforcement's already, parked where they can get down to where the girls are. And I'm not sure the exact time, but I'm going to venture to say that that was probably somewhere between 12:30 and 1 p.m. on the 14th, because it was right after when the girls were found, but everybody wasn't down there yet. And I think it was because they knew, firstly, this is the crime scene, the girls are dead, and 3, the FBI sending in their CSI to fully cover the crime scene. So I think that the area was cleared, the bodies were removed, and the crime scene was gone over, by the FBI. Well, that's a very good question, one that I'm asked approximately every week. The answer is long, Lollipop. The answer is very long. I've covered it at length many times in many, many videos, many, many videos. And I'll just, I guess, because, you wasn't here at that time, each time I'll say, it's kind of like this. They knew who did it at the Delphi briefing. They wanted people to follow a narrative. They wanted people to follow a narrative that, hey, this guy's 18 to 40 and lives right around Delphi, hiding in plain sight from the FBI, if you can imagine that. Hiding in plain sight from 2 people that seen this guy in a town of 3,500. Hiding in plain sight, people, and this new sketch is him. And in this new sketch, he wasn't wearing a hat like he was with the 2 people that seen him. Oh, no, we know exactly what the top of his head looks like. We know exactly what it looks like, which is complete bullshit. And if you want to believe it, fine, fair enough. Believe the second sketch. I called it bullshit as soon as I seen it, because I knew, firstly, the Delphi briefing was not going to be a suspect announcement, because I knew they hadn't went and talked to him. So I didn't go. You couldn't ask questions. So why go? You see, why go there just to listen when I can watch on TV and then come and make a live video right after the fact? And I was pissed until I realized that, everything they gave out was part of a narrative that said it's, they didn't say it is TJB. What they did was say, hey, here's stuff that makes it look like it ain't TJB. Focus on this and not on this. This over here, we're going to take offline, so it's part of the Delphi's now lost parts, because they don't want you to think it's TJB. Because if you think it's TJB, you're going to fucking ask them questions about TJB. And you know what they're not going to answer on? That shit. That shit right there. Thank you. And that's why, Lollipop. Glad you asked that question. If anybody else wants to ask it, please wait till next week. I done kind of semi-answered it for this one. Thank you. Almost 100 thumbs. Man, I need 100 thumbs. It's for Puppy more than anybody. Understand? So if you could take 1 minute, 1 second on my invisible watch there, just hit that little thumbs up right underneath the video. You'd be doing a big favor. And love it, man. Love you guys. Okay, well, it's pushing 8 o'clock. Yes, it was. In fact, it looks like this right here. See, this is why I keep all this shit. This is why I keep all of it, man. Everything like that. All of it. All of it's right here, man, in detail. Let me see. Let me find it. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Don't take off. Right here. This is what St. Louis, hold on, I know you guys can't see it. That ain't so at all. They knew better. Man, look, Daniel Nations already had fingerprints and DNA in there, and they knew damn well, Sandra, that it wasn't Daniel Nations. All right, now, here is the picture. Check it out. This right here, St. Louis County Police Department. Okay, you with me? Wish I had it clicked more. Said, good afternoon. As we continue to investigate the homicide and assault here, here is more detailed description of the suspect. The suspect is a white male, 5'7" to 5'9", 40 to 50 years of age at the time of the incident. He was wearing a navy blue Carhartt style jacket, a plaid shirt, red, white, and blue and black in color, glasses, a brown belt, and a red blue square on the clasp of the belt. The hat is described below. Well, shit, doesn't really say, but it looks like this, right? Damn it. There. Let me blow this up a little bit. It looks like this style right there. A flat cap. Much like I'm wearing, except mine isn't exactly a flat cap, totally. I think his is more, and I forget the name of it. I always forget the name of it. I want to say Gator or something like that, but it ain't Croc. It ain't a Croc. I don't know. It's something like that, but it's a hat style. And that is what he was wearing down there. That is what he was wearing in Delphi. That is the clothes that he wore at Delphi. Exactly. Not only were they correct that he looked like the sketch, the sketch was made off of his face. It is him. Cannot clear that up enough. I really can't. It's been 3 years of just repeating myself. What color did the witnesses say he had? Well, they said he had purple. I have no idea what you mean, Jay. I really don't. What color did the witnesses say he had? What color hat? What color eyes? What color hair? Help me out. And I will gladly answer the question to the best of my abilities. Hat. See, they did it. Now, that's the question that me and Greeno would ask. We asked her, well, actually, it was I that asked her if it was me. I said, well, look, because I can go pull up the press conference where, Trooper Kim Riley says, well, he was wearing a hat very similar to this, but we don't know the exact style of hat. I'm going to say like this. If you're talking to me and somebody says, well, what kind of hat did he have on? Yeah, well, it's like a flat cap, I guess, kind of, it went down and attached here. I don't know the style or the name or that's what they would say. Why? Because they're not staring at my hat. If you talk to me for a couple of minutes, you're looking at my face. You say, well, he had a hat. It wasn't a baseball hat. It was like a flat hat. I don't know. That's where they were at. Now, when I asked Sheriff Lesenby, I said, if they're not certain about the hat style, why did they give him my hat? Of which he kind of smirked. He's like, I don't know why they gave him that exact hat. But we do know that that is the style of hat that he was wearing. The lady walking her dog seen him with that kind of hat on. Flannel shirt guy, the other guy that seen him with that kind of hat on. So how did law enforcement come up with the sketch without a hat on when the guy was clearly wearing a hat? Why did they make him look younger and say 18 to 40, hiding in plain sight? I can cover that with 2 letters, BNS. I know better. It's complete garbage to think that he lives around Delphi. Again, Delphi, Carroll County, the whole Carroll County, the whole of it, 20,000 people. Divide in half to get men. Take out men with blue eyes. Take out all men who have ever committed a crime before. Take out all men who are not 18 to 40. Now, you're going to be left with a handful of men, let's say 800 men, then start going through them. Well, this one's 6'3". Well, it can't be him. We know he was shorter than that. No, it's because he's 5'5". Well, we know it wasn't him. He was taller than that. You could narrow out people just by their size and narrow it down to a guy that befits that. Now, in doing that, the FBI could literally do that probably in about 2 days' time and say, yeah, here's the 300 men that we need to look over. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, looking over 300 men beats the living shit out of trying to go through 70,000 phone-in tips. Does it not? That's how easy it is. They don't expect you to think like that. They do not expect you to think like that and look at it like that. Simply put, it's the fact. It's the fact that they could have found that guy immediately if he lived local. If he lived local, there isn't one person, not one person, even newborns are showed that as soon as they come out of the womb. Look, here's the video of the bridge guy. There you go. Get on with your life. Nobody has not seen that video and the pictures of that guy and heard his voice that lives in Carroll County. Everybody has. If he lived in and around Carroll County, he would have been turned in immediately. Immediately been turned in. Yeah, I knew who it is because there would have been 30 people that said, yeah, that was boo, 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 boo. He was dressed like that, looks like that. I know he was going there that day. I know he wasn't at work. Somebody would have knew exactly who it was. And nobody did. Nobody. When we found out the guy had never committed a crime before, we're like, well, this shines a whole new light on things. Because firstly, if they live around Carroll County and they had never committed a crime, I probably don't know him. I think even the sheriff's committed a crime in his past, something. Well, maybe he'd never been arrested. I mean, probably easy to get away with when you're a jailer and whatnot and go on to be sheriff. But most people have committed a crime in their life. Most people. No, he does not live in Delphi. And again, that became it became kind of clear not long after the first year press conference. And I say that because we knew that it was right, radar. Yeah. We knew it was a person that had never committed a crime before. Okay, but that could literally be anyone, like anyone. But really the majority of people that I know around Carroll County, having been in jail a time or two there, I know because I've been in jail and met them in jail. I just don't go over to Carroll County, meet people and, hey, let's be friends. I ain't that kind of person. So yeah, a lot of people I knew had been in jail. Now, never having been in jail, and they're saying lives locally, well, man, that puts a different spin on it. Now, when TJB came across my radar and I started looking into him, I was at a loss because I'm like, yeah, okay, I got this much. He looks like the sketch. 2, I know he was dressed exactly like Bridge Guy when committing that crime. 3, I know that this guy's never been caught committing a crime before, but has committed a crime before. And I believe that he may be Bridge Guy. Well, that's when I started investigating into his past. When I found the route from St. Louis to Fort Wayne takes the Hoosier Heartland, I'm like, oh, well, seriously, if I'm looking at a serial murderer, and at that time I did believe him to be, then yeah, I would say that he did drive there. He had probably taken Monon High Bridge or Hoosier Heartland many times back and forth from there to Fort Wayne to Montrose. Many, many times. Why? Because he's a serial killer. Why? Because he wants to find small trails that are hiked but not heavily. That way, if a person comes to and you want to take them over to private property and victimize them, you can. You don't have fear of somebody coming by immediately. And that's what he did. He was a person that pretty much dwelled on opportunity. It was like he wouldn't go out and look for it, but when opportunity presented itself, there he was. He would take it every single time. Now, there's 2 that I can say were pre-set up. Well, 1, Delphi. Now, I can't say the identical for Evansdale, but then again, because it was very much like Delphi, I think that he had traveled north. He had been to Evansdale. He had been to that park and seen it very much like Delphi. Small town, small trail, hiked, but not heavily, right by a highway, easy to get out of. Abduct, get them out of there, peace, see ya, commit the crime, nobody knows. So both of them are identical like that. They're identical crimes. 2 girls abducted, middle of the day, 14 or 16 total crimes like that since 1974. FBI statistic, half of them solved, minimally half, and half of them were done by family or friends of the family. 2 girls abducted during daylight hours, murdered. Now, when Evansdale and Delphi are 2 of those that are unsolved, and both of the girls, in both sets of crimes, their bodies were found by a creek in the woods on reversible dates. That starts blowing the mind. Then you got to think, well, maybe he did set that first one up. Because in Evansdale, he had lost his long-term job at Schnucks Grocer 1 month before Evansdale. Maybe he went there on Friday the 13th specifically for that reason. I don't know. But I do know on the reverse date, Evansdale or Delphi, I know he drove to Delphi because it was identical to Evansdale. It was a place he had been and a place that he knew could hold opportunity. That's why he went there and waited. I do not know. I know that he had a 2017 Kia after the fact, but I don't think that he drove a 2017 Kia to Delphi. Because 1, he had just filed bankruptcy in January. I know that he was alimony by November of 2016. And that's when his Twitter feed stopped. And it didn't start again until April of 2017, 2 months after the crime. So through that time, he was light on money. And I don't think that you go back to before November of 2016 and buy a 2017 Kia, that's going to bankrupt you. And then turn around and file bankruptcy, and then keep the Kia. So I think that he bought the 2017 after Delphi or obtained it after Delphi and was probably using an older car during Delphi. Do I know that to be fact? No, I don't. But I'm just saying that that's the way it would look to me. that he had bought the 2017 kit after. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. That is what I do. You know, I do kind of keep that going because it is, and it's always been TJB. It's never been anybody else. You're welcome, Thomas. Thank you. Yeah, well, there is no reasonable amount, but I could literally, and that will be after this video. Right now, I'm doing the timestamp, and the timestamp video is it's involved. It's very involved because, man, I got to go back to all of the walkthroughs that I've done, like all of them, man, to get all of the video of all of the places so that I can show exact timing. So I can say from here at this time, from here at this time, walking this way at general walk time from here to there takes this long time. Crossing takes this long a time. Going from here down, from here to there to there, back to the 501. Everything can be mapped out in a good time and an approximate time, because in most cases we have approximate times. It's like when Derek German talked to Flannel Shirt Guy, approximately 3:15. Nobody looked at their watch and said it was exactly 3:15. Now we have some exact times. One was that Derek got out and had already called Libby on the cell phone, and there was no answer. At 11 or at 3:15, he got out and started walking down the 505 trail, which is where he came into contact with Flannel Shirt Guy, walking the 501 back from Monon High Bridge. You know, that's where he seen him and asked him if he seen two young girls down that way. You know, and he said, no, I seen two older girls on the south side, but they were too old to be the two that you're looking for. You know, so we have some specific times, like when Cheyenne arrived. We don't know the exact minute she arrived. And even if I did know the exact minute she arrived, I can't say exactly that she got out of her vehicle to main parking area and walked directly to Monon High Bridge. I can't say that factually. They may have stopped. They may have been looking. They may have took pictures. There could have been many instances that would have halted them from getting there in a direct general walk time. So I do know that she was on the south side of the bridge at 2:49. I know the amount of time it takes to walk from getting on the bridge across to that area. So I can say, when I reduce that back to that time, and say she would have been approximately at the bridge at this time. Now, I can back that up to the secondary entrance and say from there forward, this is the time that she started walking from the secondary entrance. And that gives me a good speculation as to the time she was walking across the 501 in front of the suspect who was walking back out to the 501. You know, so you can tie up a lot of like little things like that and put them into a good timestamp of when things would have happened. We know that at approximately 2:47, Flannel Shirt Guy seen the suspect walk by him. Approximately 2:47, but that gives us a good idea. Was it 2:46? Was it 2:48? Could we say 2:47, say approximately here up to here, or behind a minute back to here, and say from here to here is where he saw him? Yes. So at the end of the timestamp video, which is going to be long, I've been on it for days, man. I really have. But I want to say this right. I'm doing it correctly. I am putting in the editing. I am putting in everything involved, man, you know, to make it look correct. He did. Gee, was it 5'8" by chance? Because when you say Greeno figured it out, I want to know how. How did he figure it out, man? I mean, did he get the size of his soles and, you know, do like a shadow reading and something like that? I mean, I'll call him up one day if he answers and find out how he did it. Like to stay on top of other people's investments. Crap, I don't know how I did that. Must have clicked something, man. It gave me the boot. That I don't really know. But again, here's the thing. If they take my fingerprint for use for verifying that, yes, this is my valid ID, this is my thumbprint on it, I don't think that that gives them, the DMV, the right to send that on to a national criminal database when they're not in your criminality. You know, it's the same thing. There's no, it's like if you're in the Navy, like TJB was, and they take your fingerprints, fine, they got your fingerprints. But if you never committed a crime, those would never be in a criminal link to be matched to. Do you see where I'm at? They can't take your fingerprints from one thing and then say, ha, now we got them and we're putting them in a legal database for all crimes. Because to do that, they need your consent. And if you do not sign that consent, it can't be done. Now, he had never got caught committing a crime, anywhere to my knowledge. You know, he had never been arrested. I mean, the first arrest and only arrest that he's ever had was for the Catholic supply store sexual assault and homicide. That's what nailed him. That's what got him right there. Oh, yeah. Which one was it? Was it reenactment 1 or 5 or yeah, everybody always says, yeah, you know that video you guys did together, the reenactment video, and I'm all like, yeah, I didn't do that. Believe me. I stayed home. Exactly. Oh, now are you talking about Monon High Bridge? Because you know what? There is some truth to that. I didn't know that the trail was there. And I had been around there, and I mean, I had drove down County Road 200, God knows, 1,000 times. Hell, I've probably even been down County Road 300 a few times driving, I mean, over my life. I mean, you know, didn't really know that there was a trail there, but they set that trail up. Now, I remember when the tracks were still running. My dad moved out there, I'll say not far from the crime, but, you know, right there on County Road 200. Now, he moved there in 1986. And when he moved out there, because I'd go over, you know, I mean, I was driving, hell, I was in the Army in 1986. I was driving over to Delphi, into Florida, this and that, and every other, coon hunting every night, all this crap. And I remember when the trains went through there. Now, when they stopped using that, I didn't know that they had stopped using it. And I mean, I guess over time, I mean, it should have just occurred to me at some day, like, oh, I remember when trains used to go through there. The tracks were there, you know. They are no longer going across Highway 22. They removed the tracks years ago. But I do remember when the train went through when he first moved out there. But I think that they closed the tracks in, I believe, 87. I think 87. It could have went as late as 89, but I believe it was in 87. But for the first year, I know that trains did go through there. Now, they changed that to a trail. I don't even know the day. I don't even know when they made it a trail. You know, exactly. But here's the thing. Even if somebody had said to me, hey, you know, there's a trail right there. I'd be like, no, but I mean, like, God, there's a trail that goes all the way around Delphi, you know. But you see, it wasn't not knowing that that trail was there. It was the specifics. At the end of that trail is the second, like, tallest bridge in Indiana. It is a phenomenal old railroad bridge. My ass would have been back there so quick to see that. That's the kind of shit I love to go see, you know, with stuff like that. And I had no idea until this crime happened, you know, and then that's what got me and Greeno out there. And we're looking at that and I'm like, wow, man, this is historic, man. This is an old trail. This is beautiful. You know, this is made to be a trail. Yeah. Me and Greeno had no idea it was there until after the crime. You know, I had no idea. Yes, but you see, here's the thing. When you do that, when you put your DNA into an ancestry site, you're not signing on that it's going into a legal database. You see where I'm at? Now, CC Moore can use that because she's not looking for the killer and all of that. He may be there. I mean, survey says that it could happen. Okay. But she's called in when that DNA does not match anywhere, where this guy has not committed a crime before that had DNA. You see where I'm at? In cases like that, then she uses the ancestry and the software to find a family name. And then by finding the family name, she can take that down manually, is what she said, manually making a family tree with the DNA down to who it would be. Now, when you put your DNA into an ancestry site, and I would advise not doing that. Never give anybody your effing DNA. If you want to do your genealogy, do it through a census. Easy to do, man. Super easy. Go to your library, go to the genealogy department. They'll hook you up. You can go right there online and find every census to everybody you want and locate your people all the way back to Europe or wherever they come from. Easy peasy. And when you give them your DNA, that's asking for issues. Now, they contractually have your DNA. Well, I don't let people have my DNA. You know, they better have a damn good reason to get my DNA because I do not hand that over. And I have done my genealogy all the way back on both sides, mother and father, all the way back. Not all the way back. We didn't go back to Adam and Eve. You know, but it went back to Europe. No, I hadn't. Oh, yeah, people knew of it. No, I'm not saying like people didn't know. Hell, anybody that walked that trail to the end knew it was there. It wasn't hidden. And I'm not saying it was hidden. It's one of those things. Who around Delphi goes and walks a trail right by Delphi? Nobody, not really. I mean, who in the hell? I mean, like if I wanted to just go take a walk, I'd go to a park and walk, take a walk. Now, if I wanted to get out in the woods, then I would. And Monon High Bridge Trail is that. It's beautiful. It's out in the woods. It's scenic. It's fantastic. 70 feet over Deer Creek, man. You got the bridge. Beautiful historic area. But again, man, many locals knew nothing of it until that crime happened. There were roads changed over time going all the way back. We was looking at that on Google Earth. Oh, yeah, I did, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. You know what? We had an excellent fourth. Oh, see right there, man. There's Monon High Bridge, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. That's a really cool pic, too. Well, if you're privately adopted. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They can't give you a family name. You know, they can say, well, part of it comes from France, part of it comes from England, part of it comes from, okay. You know, I mean, I understand your dilemma, but the thing is, most people like sending their DNA to ancestry sites, not doing it because they was privately adopted. And aside to that, if you want to know where you come from, kind of look in the mirror. It kind of gives you a good determination. Look at me. If you can't tell I'm German, man, I mean, like, sprechen Sie Deutsch. You see where I'm at? I say it to Puppy all the time. All the time I say that shit to him. Yeah, he knows. He gets it. Hold on. Well, again, if it's in a military database, you say a military database. If he had never committed a crime, then at what business would that have been in a national database that is not that is civilian? None. That would be like saying, well, we're going to take your DNA, although you've never done anything, and we're going to put it in a national database. Screw you. I'd say, and I'll sue your effing ass. That's what I'll do. Yeah, you know what, man? There's a lot of people out there that do a lot of silly shit because they think it's going to help, and you know what? It never does. What if everybody turned in their DNA? What if everybody in the world turned in their DNA? Then we'd all be slaves. That's the point. They say, well, that's your DNA, and we're going to get an expert up here to say you did it. Well, I'll say the expert's wrong. Jury's going to believe the expert. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Might as well just confess. Yeah. That's the point. I don't give people my DNA. That DNA is called my DNA, and you ain't getting it. Well, it's not entirely true, but it costs money. And it costs money. I ain't cheap, man. I ain't cheap. Carla, you're probably new to my channel. I would think. Thank you. Yes, exactly, Radar. We're all slaves. Don't give them any more. All right. Yes. Here's the thing. Yes, absolutely. I can say at 100% that the murder of Mary Pryor, 83 years old, Lennon, Michigan, look it up. Ann Pates, 24, was killed in Montrose, Michigan. That too. Evansdale, Delphi. Jamie Schmidt was another one that he killed with the pistol, and could go as far, quoting Barry Scheck only. I don't think Barry Scheck would lie. But if Thomas Bruce was at that base in Millington, Tennessee, he most certainly killed Suzanne Collins there as well. Now, that was in 1985. Now, TJB is exactly, to the day, 45 days older than I am. 45 days. 45 days older than I am. And there I am, 55. You know what? Thought I would own the world by now. Well, you know what, man? Alcoholism, man, things held me back. I mean, give me a couple of years, but now in the world, you know, I'm investing in Bitcoin, and that helps. And, you know, if you'd like to invest in Bitcoin, or, you know, maybe, oh, hang on. Get into Bitcoin or crypto, or, oh, shit, man, what the hell did I do? What have I done? There we go. Bam. There we are. So if you'd like to be into crypto, and you'd like to be like Michael J. Cat, there you go. Go right there. Wait. Well, pop up, man. There it is. Go to COINBASE. Right there at that little link that I just put in chat. Hold on. There we go. That I just put in chat. Copy that. Paste it into your browser. Go there. Register. When you log in, you get $5 for using my link. That's on me. That $5 is from me, Michael J. Cat, to you, a viewer. And then once you're logged in, you got that $5. Go down the front page, and that's going to tell you exactly how to earn $30 more in crypto. Now, at the end of that, you're going to have $35 in crypto. $35. You can sell it in the United States funds and just send it right to your bank if you like. You're $35. Do as you damn well please. But if you want to be super groovy cool, I mean, if you want to be that like really awesome, like righteous person and, you know, help a brother out, send me a little bit of Bitcoin right there to that address. That's where you send it to, right to my Bitcoin address. And I next week will dedicate a show to you. Yes. And we'll both be into crypto and we'll rule the world one day. And one day you and I will own our big yacht and we'll have a big party. MC Hammer will be MCing and so will Vanilla Ice. You know, he'll be there. He'll be doing his cool thing, you know. And it'll just really be us, man, partying on our yacht, man, our super yacht. It'll be groovy, man. And you know what? You'll love it, man. We'll both love it. We'll sail around the world. It'll be sweet as shit. Can't wait. Thank you. All you got to do is become a part of COINBASE, get your $35 in crypto, and be that dude. You know what? I really don't know. I don't know. I have not talked to Cheyenne. If I did, I looked at some interviews and she never said, oh, we arrived exactly at this time, which is what I was looking for, because that would have helped. But I can do it kind of by reverse engineering and say, well, I know she got to this point of the bridge at this time. And I know from here back to that part, walking across takes this long. And then I can back that up from the walk speed from the bridge back to a secondary entrance. And I can say she was walking through right at this time to this time through that area. And I can say he left the crime scene at this time and was walking forward and should have seen her at about this point here if he saw her. So I don't know if she ever went back, but I can say this. If the two girls that were murdered, if it was not them, it would have been Cheyenne and her friend. They arrived right after. It would have been them too. Yeah, I would hope it never happened, man. Yeah, when that investigator came to my house, man, and said, well, yeah, I know I'm on your side. You don't look like Bridge Guy. I'll give you that. You know, and you might even have everybody here that would say you're here, certainly, but we can't clear you, his words. We can't clear you without a DNA sample. So, well, you tell them they aren't getting my DNA. So, well, they might want your DNA. It's fine, fair enough. You go, if they can go get a judge that's going to sign on that says he demands my DNA for the Delphi murders, you tell them if they can do that, tell them I'll own their ass. And I never heard from them again. Period. So I am not about handing out DNA. But this is kind of the people's minds. People are controlled and programmed. People think, well, if we all turn our DNA in, then crimes like this can't happen. Right. Everybody turn their DNA in and wait and, you know, they just wait and see what fucking happens. People, the more you give into these people, the more you give into authoritarianism, the worse it becomes. It never gets better. You know what? In my 55 years, I never remember a day going, wow, it was so much worse back then. No, every day in my life, every year that goes by, I'm like, wow. You know what? In the last 5 years, man, in the last 10 years, in the last 20 years, you know, I can go back because every year it just gets worse. Why? Because people fall for the fucking shit. Everybody falls for it. And they think they're doing the right thing. They really do. Everybody get a DNA and fingerprints, man. They'll solve everything. Yeah. Bullshit. Look, man, law enforcement is not on your fucking side. They are part of the problem. Any cop that's going to arrest somebody for a victimless crime is breaking his oath of office as a public servant to the Constitution. If he did it in God's name, and they all do, that makes him a traitor and a heretic. Period. Don't give a shit what else you say. If they swear to the Constitution to protect and defend it, domestic and foreign and woo-whoop-de-woo, and that Constitution states right there that we got God-given inalienable rights, and then he'll arrest you for not hurting a person while the whole time living your God-given rights, he's breaking the fucking law. He's disobeying his oath. He is a heretic. He is doing what he swore he would not do by oath. Somebody tell me where I'm wrong. That's exactly how I go in and state it. Say, well, this public servant over here who clearly broke his oath of office, and I would begin just about like that, and they fold pretty fucking quick. Well, you say on the verge of socialism, I say we're getting ready to fold this nation entirely. The bad's coming. The real bad's coming. I'm afraid you missed about everything, Jennifer. But good news, you can go back and rewatch it. You know, you can go back and rewatch it and let me know what your thoughts. In fact, I'm going to throw my email up in case anybody wants it. You know, I mean, I throw it up every week. Every week. It's Mr. Cat 420. That's it. Mr. Cat 420. That's KATT 420. But you can reach me right there. Ask me what you want. And you know what? When I get up in the well, not when I get up in the morning. You don't want that. Yeah, I don't. I know. You know what? I'm putting that off. I will not get up in the morning and answer emails. Man, you know how many times I've got up in the morning and somebody wrote me an email and I just went off on them. And then later that day, I'm like, oh, geez, wow. You know, man, maybe I should have had a little caffeine before I started answering emails. So I won't answer you first thing in the morning, but I will answer when I'm in a good mood, and I will, type you a big, long, extended answer. Just the kind people like. All right. That right there that is if you want to drop a PayPal donation to my channel. That's what's used. But if you want to be super cool and groovy, you want to be a part of the future. You know, you want to be that kind of person. You want to be like Michael J. Cap. Then you want to go here. And you want to hook yourself up, man. You know, you want to get like right on that, right there. That website, man, at Coinbase. Oh, wait, man, that's HU. You know what, man? Let me redo that because that is not the way that should go. It says join Coinbase, but let me put it in a way that's like easy to copy and, you know, shit like that. There you go. Go to Coinbase right there. Log in. Just join. Free. You just join. Here's my email. There's my password. Whoop-de-whoop. Bang. I'm in. And then you're going to get $5 immediately. $5 from me to you. All of you. You know what? That's 85 people. If 85 people went and joined Coinbase, you know what? That'd be like, man, my God, that'd be like over $500 just right there. Now, when you add into that the $30 that you make in crypto, that's $35. Now, if I go multiplying that times 100, that's a lot of fucking money. That's a big bunch of money. I'm handing it out to you. Hand it out. So if you want to be the super groovy person, and once you get that $35, man, then you want to lay a little bit of Bitcoin on me, send it to that address. That one right there. That's my Bitcoin address. Dwayne? Do I know you, Dwayne? Oh, no. Your name sounds familiar to me. Do I know you? Because when you bring up Ponzi scheme, I don't want to bring up the Federal Reserve note that's backed by absolute shit. I don't want to state the fact that we are $26 trillion in debt to a fiat currency that's backed by, God, did I say shit? I don't know, man. I think shit's worth something as fertilizer. It's backed by less than shit. If you want to put your faith in the Ponzi scheme of the American dollar, knock yourself out. I don't care. Myself, I'm getting the hell out right now. Thank you. Yes, but we can get out of that debt. And there are ways, little Pookie. There are ways. Don't believe me? You know my email. And I can tell you the ways. Because there are ways. Yeah, by their credit. That's why we are the collateral on the fucking debt of $26 trillion. Dwayne, did you do any fucking research before you came in? And you say 100 million. No, actually it's 500 million. Taxpayers. 500 million people that are collateral against the $26 trillion debt. I want you to think about being collateral on the debt that can't be paid. And then go, well, wait a minute. What happens when we go bankrupt? Well, that's what you're going to find out when you realize that, oh, wait a fucking minute. I'm the collateral. Holy mother of fuck. Well, shit. And with that, oh shit and stuff, all like that. Man, I've been on here pushing 3 hours, almost 3 hours, people. I hope that I cleared up Delphi's now lost parts. And if not, please rewatch this video, because I think that you're going to understand, once you watch the beginning of this, once it gets into it, why these parts are missing, why they've been taken out of circulation, why they've been pulled offline, you know, why it's no longer available for the general public to see. Why? Because it all leads back to TJB. That's why. Please tell me what's up with the Delphi murders. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Dwayne. It's backed by 500 million taxpayers, all collateral on the debt. Thank you. Thanks for the correction. That's right. Well, right, back to the crime at hand. That's kind of where I was going to leave it lie. Now, I do have the timestamp video, and it will probably not be out by next Tuesday, but the editing is going to be done. When it is done, it is going to be movie ready. I mean, I'm talking about full-on editing. I'm to the part where the suspect gets to the south side of the bridge, and then that's before the girls go. You know, it's going to be good. I'm really setting it up. I am. And I think that it's going to be well worth it in the end. So anyway, man, there's a few people I did not see. I didn't see Watcher, nor did I see Sir Mitch. They were gone. Wombat didn't show up either. Man, I feel a little betrayed. Anyways, man, I thank everybody being here, man. All viewers, all moderators, man, all people, man. I thank you all, man. I hope that everybody had a fantastic 4th and a great week ahead. I thank you for being here, man. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace, everybody.